You know, I was lucky to have some very positive influences that shaped my love of horror in my young life. There was my grandfather who introduced me to the Universal Classics. There was my mom who introduced me to Alfred Hitchcock and to Stephen King. There was also my third grade teacher who read us scary stories to tell in the dark and also Roald Dahl. She read to us from James and the Giant Peach, from the Twits, from the BFG, and also The Witches. And in fact, after reading us the book, she showed us the 1990 movie, The Witches, and it remains a favorite of mine to this day. The book really has just a delightful Grimm's fairy tale feel to it, a modern day Grimm's fairy tale. Roald Dahl just had such a great talent for adventures of high fantasy and magic with a touch of the magnificently morbid thrown in. And the movie, in my opinion, is a really great intro for a parent who maybe just wants to try and get their kid to understand their love of horror movies and maybe even start to wean them off the cookie cutter stuff and into something a little more mature. And there's no denying, Angelica Houston, she just owned it as the Grand High Witch, which is all the more interesting because she was miserable wearing all that makeup and those big animatronic hands. And fun fact, that was also the very last film project of Jim Henson. Journey to Realia and Peace, sir. And actually, Roald Dahl himself hated that movie because they severely altered the ending. Not going to give it away for those who haven't read the book, but the ending in the book is not sad, but it is a bit more somber than the movie. The movie's very much happily ever after, everyone laughs, ha ha ha, the end. So I am quite interested in this retelling of The Witches that we now have the trailer for, which is the subject of this reaction video. Based on what I've seen in this trailer, I am very hopeful. Anne Hathaway is delightfully chewing the scenery up as the Grand High Witch. And I actually love that little Joker-esque effect of the two notches along either side of her mouth. Now, I will confess a touch of skepticism, because they're relying purely on CGI. I don't think there's any topping those traditional effects of the Grand High Witch in the 1990 movie. But then again, that was Henson. You can't really replicate that kind of loving craftsmanship. And indeed, the one little tick I have about this trailer is the mice look a little too cartoony, a little too Stuart Little for my taste. Then again, not like the puppet mice in the 1990 movie were exactly realistic either. So overall, I actually am looking really forward to this, and it actually drops only a couple of days before my birthday, so great birthday gift. Certainly, I think it's going to be really hard to top that one, but my hopes are high. I'm hoping this will not be like Ratched, which definitely was a letdown. I went in trying to be positive, but it didn't deliver to my taste. The Witches, I think, probably will, if my only complaint is that they use too much CGI. And I think it's a very clever thing that they are not letting us see the Grand High Witch's face in any of this trailer footage. That's definitely something you want to leave as a surprise for the audience if Ralph Fiennes as Voldemort showed us anything. And it's going to be hard to top those marvelous illustrations from the original book, which are so absurdly cartoonish yet so grimly effective. So I hope you all are as eager as I am, and I hope you are all still taking your precautions. Please, always look out for each other, because we are getting the cold weather months now. People are going to be getting the cold and the flu. So as always, folks, eat, drink, and be scary and enjoy. Watch out for yourselves, and enjoy Halloween season, because we ain't done yet.